Yo, what is up everyone? This is OJ over here from PlayerEssence and welcome to the Nintendo Switch news video. Today we've got two awesome topics for you guys from some rock solid sources in Laura Kate Dale from Let's Play Video Games and my wife Emily Rogers over there at Arcade Girl 64, her blog that she has. So let's go ahead and jump right into the news. So today we've got another one, Let's Play Video Games, leaking some retailer prices from Game and how it's going to be pretty much a direct conversion over to the US and other parts of the world because the system will be region free. So let's go ahead and get right into it. So today's report is backed by one of previously used sources and one new source who I have vetted thoroughly. It is the UK specialist gaming retail chain Game has been informed of the Nintendo Switch's wholesale price to retailers and is planning on selling their basic SKU stock keeping unit of the system in stores for £199.99 British pounds. It's important to note that this is not a Nintendo set RRP recommended retail price, as Nintendo does not set UK RRP prices for consoles. However, it is safe to assume this gives us a solid indication of the price the system will sell at nationwide. We also have learned that a separate SKU featuring more internal storage and a pack-in game is planned to sell at £249.99 British pounds. We have also heard rumors as to what the pack-in game is, but we currently only have one source on this information, so we are unwilling to talk about that pack-in title at this time. Both of our sources have told us that additional Switch Pro controllers are expected to sell at launch for £39.99 British pounds at Game. Lastly, we have been told that Nintendo is planning for the Nintendo Switch to be a close to direct conversion price comparable across regions, which we have been told is tied into their push for the system to be region free. This would in theory put the USA price of the system approximately at $249.99 and $299.99 US dollars. This is based off just regular conversion rate, not any inside information. Alright guys, so let's talk about this news here. We talked about the just recent video that I did, I think just this morning, about the whole Canadian leak or Toys R Us page that put up the system for $250 basically for a conversion from Canadian dollars over to the US. So once again, we have another one here. So I think it's pretty safe to say that the system is going to have at least one base price at $250. That is a sweet spot. We've had Tatsumi Kimishima said they want to be profitable, but they also want it to be affordable as well. They understand that this is going to be for families. This is definitely not going to be a system that's as powerful as like PS4 Pro or Xbox Scorpio. You have to have a competitive price point for people just to get into the console at first. And I think $250 is a perfect price point, like I talked about before, because the Nintendo Wii was $250 and that hit mass market success. So I definitely think that a $250 priced device like this is definitely going to move some units. It's going to be way more successful than the Wii U was at launch just because of that price point. And then they talk about the next bundle that you can have, which is more internal memory, and you can have a pack-in game. That's big. Now, I think I know what that game is as well, and I think it's going to be the new Mario title. That harkens back all the way to really the Super Nintendo, when Nintendo packed in, and even the NES, Nintendo packed in a Mario title with that game to be their system driver, their system seller. And if you look at the forecast Nintendo has for March, so far they have 2 million units by the end of March. With the Mario pack-in title, a $299 price, in addition to a $250 price for the lower one with lower internal memory, I definitely think they're going to hit those numbers quite easily. This Switch is going to be a hot commodity, especially if they show a lot of interest, or as far as what the consumers are saying when they get the hands on. I'm thinking Nintendo's actually going to increase that number. I'm thinking if Nintendo's going to have Mario as a pack-in title, it's going to be on full display for people to get their hands on, and that might be the only title people are going to be able to play, because Nintendo really wants to show off what this device can do as far as docked and as far as playing it on the go. So I really think that Mario is probably the best title just to show off, get people playing the Switch, and just get people back to playing normal controls, no gimmicks, no crazy different types of control schemes or anything like that. Just playing a great Mario game with great, fantastic level design, great graphics, all that stuff that we're used to beforehand, before the whole Wii era. I mean, Super Mario Galaxy was amazing, but it did have some gimmicks with the Wii Remote and stuff. But overall, I just think that this is really cool that they're kind of going back to this type of playstyle and really adding something that I guess people wanted and developers wanted, which would be a device that kind of unifies a couple different things here as far as their architectures and their systems, console and portable. So let's get into the next bit of news here, and that is my wife back again, Emily Rogers. Now, she's saying that the Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild Wild will not be released in March. Now, it is a rumor, and she does say that everything in the blog post is rumor until proven otherwise. Please take everything with a grain of salt. But then she sounds pretty freaking confident when it comes to certain things. And hey guys, Emily has been right on with a lot of her information, especially when it comes to Nintendo Switch. Now, she did get a couple things wrong with The Legend of Zelda, but still, I wouldn't doubt her based on some of the new revelations that are coming out and some of the stuff that she's been right on about. So let's go ahead and get right into the article. So she says, Breath of the Wild is one of the largest games, if not the largest game that Nintendo's ever developed. It's probably larger than The Legend of Zelda, Twilight Princess, Skyward Sword, and The Wind Waker combined. So in early September, she said that she started hearing rumblings that the localization for the game was becoming more work than anyone had anticipated, and they have to localize all this game's text and NPCs and quests. Then around October, she said that she received another update that The Legend of Zelda localization is still not going as smoothly as planned. It's a very ambitious game, maybe too much, claimed one particular source that she has. That brings us to the month of November, where more sources have now come forward to her and corroborated with the information that she's already received. They've told her that the localization for The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild may not be finished until the end of December, and after the localization is completed, the game still requires at least 4 to 6 months of testing. As she mentioned earlier, that this is one of Nintendo's largest, most ambitious games ever, and the amount of testing required for this game is massive. It's a huge open world Zelda game. It needs a lot of testing. So Nintendo's intention is they have the game as bug-free as possible, because we all know how open world games and bugs kind of go hand in hand sometimes. So, based on what she's heard, she has no reason to believe that The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild will be a March title, and there's a much higher chance that Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild will be a summer 2017 title instead of a March title. Now, on an unrelated note here, she's also heard some rumblings and whispers that the Nintendo Switch version will run more smoothly than the Wii U version, and that's kind of to be expected. The Nintendo Switch is going to be more powerful. She's also heard that the final version of the game is a bit harder than what the press and media and all that got to play, and also some of the fans have played at E3. And this is in addition to them actually toning down the E3 demo's difficulty just because they wanted people to get into the game and have fun exploring around. So we definitely have to keep our eyes peeled, like she says. There's going to be more information to come, but yeah, it's definitely kind of dropping a bit here. Remember, this is a rumor, so you can take it with a grain of salt, but I would not doubt her based on the stuff that she does say as far as the size of the game, how big it's going to be. Nintendo did originally have March, but then they kind of took that away, so I could probably see them delaying this game a little bit just to keep some momentum with big games. If Mario is the pack-in title, there's necessarily not a reason to keep that game straight at launch. Obviously, I would love to have the game at launch, but if it's not at launch, that's fine, whatever. I'm still going to get a Nintendo Switch for the Mario pack-in or for whatever else game that they have, because you know Nintendo's going to have just more than Mario for launch. So I'm looking forward to the Switch overall, but it would kind of suck for those, especially the Zelda fans who have been waiting and waiting and waiting for a new game, and they still haven't got it at this point. We've just been getting ports and remasters and whatever the case is, and it's time for a new console Legend of Zelda, and it sucks because we're probably not going to get it at launch if this does turn out to be true. But then again, at the same time, you have to understand that this is a huge game. This is something different for Nintendo, and it's obviously brand new tech that they're working with. The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild is insane, guys. The amount of particle effects and kind of what they're doing with that type of game, the art style, the graphics, it's unlike anything Nintendo's ever done before. So they're obviously going to need a little bit more time to wrap things up, even though they've already taken a ton of time at this point. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. I have heard some people say, oh, well, this means Nintendo's launch sales are shot. They're not going to sell anything because they don't have Legend of Zelda, and that's not going to be further from the case. Mario will sell 2 million units at launch easy. You know why I know this? Because Nintendo Land and New Super Mario Bros., a minigame collection and a 2D platformer, sold nearly that amount. I mean, it sold nearly that amount, and it was $350. So if you have a $250 and $299 and you get that pack in with it, it's going to sell their estimated forecast, whatever that is. And whenever Legend of Zelda comes out, it's just going to pack on even more unit sales. So I'm not worried when it comes to the financial aspect of this device. But I did want to talk about one more thing when it comes to just financials and what people are saying with the prices. I've seen a lot of people, for some reason, I didn't know why, but it seems like worry and panic always comes out. If Nintendo has an expensive system, people are like, oh, it's too expensive. If Nintendo has a cheaper system, oh, it's too cheap, it's not going to have any features. But guys, features and functionality, yes, it ties into the price of the system, but it's not the be-all, end-all. Guys, the Wii U literally had like not even the features of an Xbox 360 and PS3. Many features were missing, and it was $350 at launch. That's because of the gamepad inflated the price. I heard some people saying, oh, well, since it's only $250, that means it's not going to come with features. No, that's not the case. The PS Vita is packed full of chat and cross-game communication and messages and on-screen notifications and everything that you would see from a modern device, and that device isn't like super expensive. It's like 200, 250, right? Like when it launched. So I don't see why people are saying that it needs to be this super expensive device, or it needs to be $350 in order to get features like a PS4 or Xbox One. No, it doesn't. That's just in the users. There's $99 smartphones that have all the features of all these consoles when it comes to what they can do, when it comes to online connectivity and stuff like that. It's not about like the price of the system. Yes, it plays a little bit into the play. Obviously, it plays a little bit, but for $250 to $300, that's more than enough money to make a system that's fully featured and capable of everything that you would expect on a PS3, PS4, Xbox 360, Xbox One, PS Vita. Seriously, like I said, there's $99 smartphones that can do that. So yeah, I don't see why people are bringing that up. It's not a factor at all. The Wii U was, like I said, $350 to $300 and was lacking many features that cheaper systems had. So I don't really understand that logic, and no, that's not the case at all. But anyway, I just wanted to address that. Alright guys, that wraps it up for this video here. Go ahead and hit that like button if you did like it. Let me know you guys want more content like this going forward in the future. And subscribe to PlayerEssence for more news, reviews, trailers, tips, and tricks, and everything in gaming. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you for the next video. Peace.